Okay, we're going to make an origami crane using many pre-folds. It's the colored side of the paper, non-colored side. We're going to start by making 2 diagonal pre-folds and 2 rectangular pre-folds, each one folded forward and reverse. Start with the diagonal, line up the 2 points, bring it down and crease from the center outwards. We'll reverse that fold to make it easier later when we fold the crane. Use the flat part of your nail to go from the center outwards. Then we'll do the second diagonal, center outwards. Reverse fold that diagonal. Now we'll do the 2 rectangular folds, which are also going to be reverse folded, forward and reverse. We line up the 2 corners at the top, hold it there, and crease from the center outwards. Make that crease sharper with the back of your nail and reverse the fold, lining up the 2 corners. We'll do the same thing on the second rectangular fold, lining up those corners from the inside out and reverse fold that. Now we're done with forward and reverse folds. We will put the colored side down. We're going to do now the kite folds, the kite pre-folds. We do that by bringing this side into the center diagonal line. Make a good point at the top. You can crease that already and line the rest up with this diagonal, and then crease along this edge. And if you're happy with it, make it a sharper crease with your nail. Bring the other side in toward the center. Carefully do a sharp point. Fold here and then crease it. You can open that and do the other 3 corners, which I did earlier. Now you take the top edge. Now we're done with pre-folds and we're folding the crane. Take the top corner and bring it down. Crease it. This is easier if you lift it, and you kind of open it up by lifting this, and you're going to press this center crease. You're going to kind of press it inwards like that, and then close it back up again. You're going to lift and do the same with the other side. You kind of spread it apart and push this crease inwards and then fold it back up again. Now you basically have a diamond. Now we're going to make a kite. So we kind of take this corner and lift it up a little and then bring the side inward. You have pre-creases here, so it should pretty easily come in. Do the same thing with the other side, where you bring it in toward the center along this crease here, and then fold it down. You have half a kite there, the top half. You're going to do the same thing on this side. You lift up, fold inward on this side, do the same on this side, bring it down. You have a kite now. Lift the top, part up, and again on the other side. Now on the bottom you have these two kind of scissory legs. You're going to place it down on the table, and you're going to do the folds that turn these two sections into the head and the tail. So you have two flaps here, the top flap and the bottom flap. You take the top flap and fold it toward the center. Go almost to the center, but not quite with this fold. And try to make a pretty good point here at the end. Do the same to the other side. Take the top flap. Don't go completely to the center. Just short of the center on this fold. Flip it over and do the same to the other side. Remember not to go completely to the center. It'll make it easier later when you're making the head and tail. Okay, now we're done with that. Looks like this. Now we take this side and we open it, the two flaps, and we bring the bottom up. It's not that easy, but... And then you fold it inward along the center crease. So you're left with this. This can be pulled in or out. What you want to do is line it up with this edge. So I bring it in until it's lined up with that edge there. Once that's lined up, you squeeze the bottom. That holds it in place. And do the same thing on this side. Open the flap, bring it up, and kind of fold it in toward along the middle. Bring this in, lines up, and squeeze the bottom. Now you choose whichever one looks like it would make a better head. And you open it again a bit, and then you just kind of press downward. And if you squeeze it at the top, you'll form the head of the crane. Now the crane is basically finished. You could fold down the wings either by rolling them down or even creasing if you prefer that. It's finished. You could hang it if you want to put it on the table without it falling over. You can go to the bottom and make it a little more stable so that when you place it on the table, it stands. And there's the crane.